Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys my recap on the new chapter or episode of RWBY Volume 7, which is on number 11. Episode or chapter 11. Things are taking a big change of turns of directions or events. It's looking very, very bad. That much I can tell you. Although I could give you a lot of detail here and there, the most important detail is what lies in possibly the second half of the chapter or episode. So if anything else, let's just get this started. The first half involves a fight with Ironwood and Arthur Watts, and apparently they seem to be on even grounds. Well, Arthur Watts himself, he seems to be very great with his own knowledge, his brains, his technology, and all of his fighting style. Although he doesn't seem like a good combat type, which was shown in this chapter or episode when he was facing Ironwood. It looks like to me his use of gadgets and his brains of how to use the Amity Tower stage is very, very crazy. But, Ironwood, through Ironwood's will and not giving up and almost losing an arm, if anything, he manages to overpower Watts, and what happens to him off screen is unknown. He might have been, but I don't know. Like I said, Ironwood manages to subdue Arthur Watts at the cost of almost at the cost of another arm. Well, I don't know, but what happens to Arthur Watts off screen is pretty much unknown for me. That much I can tell you. Although, it could be obvious, but it's still unknown. All I can tell you right now, of course, it's major spoilers if you guys, that's if you watched the chapter episode already. He had Arthur Watts hanging maybe below where a lava pit is at or something, but he did say, "I will sacrifice what I have to do," and Arthur Watts laughs and scoffs and says, "I hope you really do." And we don't know what happens to Arthur Watts after that, but I think it could be obvious. Anyways, of course, Arthur Watts also mentions to Ironwood that, "How could you choose that fat glum over me? I showed you everything, and yet you chose him over me. And it seems that to me, Ironwood, I guess he did see Arthur Watts's technological skills and everything all together overall, but I guess he chose the guy, which is Penny's father, which we all know who that is. And anyways, going on, the other part of the half shows the fight with Tyrion against Robin, Crow, and Ace Ops Captain, but apparently they managed to subdue him, obviously, because it's 3-on-1. There's no way Tyrion is that, even though Tyrion may be a crazy chaotic fighter, he can't take on three powerful huntsmen that knows how to fight. If he had another partner with him, guaranteed it'd be very bad. But lucky for them, they managed to subdue Tyrion. But we also see too that Ironwood must be in very great distress after entering his office, and he ends up telling Winter about the situation and asks him, "Are you sure?" But later on, this was all part of a plan where Cinder watches Winter where she's running somewhere, and it looks like to me Winter is going exactly where Cinder wants her to go, and that right there is very bad. Because she goes "Now show me where you've been hiding the Winter Maiden." And we see to it that everybody ends up going back to Ironwood's office, with the exception that John, Nora, and Ren are not there yet, maybe because they have other things to do. And as for Crow, along with Robin, Ace Ops Captain, they are pretty much on the way to Atlas. And we go to a scene where this becomes very, very dangerous and tense, because looks like to me Ironwood reveals someone's already infiltrated their headquarters, and it looks like to me the enemy's already inside. Not to mention Cinder possibly might be alive, which is shown because she made a black glass of a chess piece on Ironwood's table that Ironwood must have found. Not only that, Ironwood was really mad and upset about what the situation is, because apparently this is what they wanted him to do. go down to Mantle, leave the defenses like in low guard, and bang, 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 infiltrate when the time is right. And we see to it that Ironwood decides to ask RWBY, and we have to it that Team RWBY or Blake tries to tell Ironwood, hey, we're with you on this one. And Ironwood's like, oh, are you? Because it looks like to me Ironwood actually knows the truth after Asuka told him, you know? And this is where it gotten really tensed up and very dangerous right now, because Ironwood asked him one question: how did Robin know about the communications tower, huh? And Yang and Blake confessed that they told her, and most of the Ace Ops team goes like, wait a minute, you told her behind our backs? What the heck is wrong with you, you know? And we see to it that they kind of gotten really upset about this, that they do this behind their back. Vine, Elm, Herod, and Meryl were there to like scold Yang and Blake Blake and Yang about the situation, you know? How could you do that? And we see to it that like they try to calm the situation down, and Weiss is like, none of this really matters right now. But Ironwood says loyalty always matters. But apparently the bag that Ironwood had, that Watts was carrying, it actually had that same Grim in volume 5, I think, volume 4, 5, I think number 5, yeah. It had that same Seer Grim or something that allows Salem to like communicate or control, and she ends up having to project herself manages to make a projection of herself through that Seer Grim, and says, my goodness, so easy to see you guys argue, you know? The way how she was expressing herself was very ugly. And this is where it gotten really tense, because Salem tells Ironwood, hand over the lamp and the staff of creation to me, and all this could be done peacefully. But Ironwood refuses and says, no way, I am not telling you that, and I'm not giving that to you. She says, you know, this would be very easy for you to do. But RWBY, on the other hand, talks to Salem directly and tells her off by saying, we know what you're capable of. We know about everything, okay? How you can't be destroyed, how you can't be killed. But we don't need to kill you to stop you, and we will stop you. RWBY literally said that to Salem's face right away, and Salem's like, you know, your mother said the same thing, which I think it shouldn't be too shocking at the same time, because, you know, Salem has been hunting down silver-eyed people, and it's already been implicitly hinted at throughout the series, and she even tells RWBY out by saying, your mother told me that, and she was wrong. And this actually broke down RWBY pretty badly, and she could only cry in distress. Or in major distress, because of how Salem just reminded her about her mother and knowing that she's not around anymore. Talk about a way how to break a person's morale like that. And Salem, dang, man, she has her ways of doing great manipulation of words. That much I can say. And we see too that the remaining Ace Ops squad is really shocked to see how they're facing an enemy like that. And Salem says that she's on her way already. So pretty much Watts and the others, their objective was never for victory, but it's setting up a stage for me to come by. And now this is where things gotten very dangerous in Ironwood. Oh dear, his heart is literally turning into deadly cold iron steel, however you want to call it right now, because you know the plan he had in mind for the global communications tower to tell everyone and communicate with everyone? Apparently he's going to change up his plan after what just happened to him right now and what was just told to him, you know? He's going to use the enemy tower for Atlas themselves and raise themselves up so high to a point where Salem cannot reach them. And I'm going to tell you the truth, that's not going to stop Salem. That ain't going to help, man. Although Team RWBY and the others are trying to convince Ironwood to think otherwise, because you're only abandoning the people to die. But apparently Ironwood says we have to make tough choices, you know that? And they have to it, they try to fight back and argue back, telling Ironwood, you can't do this right now. But we also see to it that one of our members, Vine, I believe, the guy with the strange old dots on his head, he ends up saying you can't focus on a single thing while you're fighting a war. And you know, most of the Ace Ops squad is agreeing with Ironwood whatever they want, whatever he wants to do. And this is where it gotten really tense because Ironwood's changing up his plans after RWBY and the others lied to him about everything altogether, you know. And dear Lord, it's very, very dangerous right now. Or should I say very tense. Not to mention, John ends up calling RWBY, and RWBY tries to inform everyone, hey guys, I gotta tell you something. Ironwood's about to declare martial law here and there. Not to mention, Ironwood was going to declare martial law before RWBY told him everything. Sorry for being very disorganized. It's just a lot of chain of events has been happening in this chapter episode that it's really hard for me to try to get it all recapped out or summarize it to you guys, you know? But Ironwood, he's going to declare certain martial law to make the councilman's decisions. How am I supposed to say it? Nothing worth noting. In other cases, once he declares martial law, no matter what the councilman says, it's not going to work, you know? And this is where it gotten really dangerous and tense right now because Ironwood's changing up his plans, and right now he even cuts out the communications after RWBY told John, Ren, and Nora everything, but apparently before John could tell RWBY about what the heck is going on, but apparently it's too late. Ironwood cuts out the communications, and then we see to it that that Ironwood says, until all this is over, you guys are under arrest. But Team RWBY says, don't think that we're going to let you guys beat us or let us take us in, you know that? And Ironwood's like, I know. And therefore he has Ace Ops without direction or direct orders have to try to subdue them, you know? And we see to it that John, Ryan, Nora tries to tell RWBY, but apparently they're really concerned right now because Oscar, it looks like to me, he's not around right now. And with Cinder going after the Winter Maiden altogether and all else out, you know, things are still starting to look very bad. Oscar's gone missing, I don't know what else, but it looks like to me Neo and Cinder is already taking their moves. And Winter is about to go claim the powers of the Winter Maiden, which Ironwood told Weiss already, and yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of things happening in this episode chapter that I don't even have much time to even talk right now. So, whatever's bound to happen next, it's really going to be bad right now because Ironwood's already changing up his plans after what's been told to him, or the truth after realizing how Robin knows about, like, knows about the communications tower that Robin knows about, you know, etc. Ironwood, man, he's already starting out to be a guy who's trying to make tough decisions on what's best, but apparently this is not going to stop Salem. She's immortal anyway, and she's going to fly up over there even if she can't breathe. Hell, she can't be killed by all means. So how is it that you're going to fly up there all the way to the sky or whatever you're doing and make this work? I wish you the best. But we'll have to see how this turns out because right now everyone's already turning on each other, which is what Salem wants. I mean, she's already on her way with her giant army of Grimm, and now she's gonna, like, slaughter and destroy everything. So, yeah. Don't know what's gonna happen next, but it's not looking so great. So, until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zitto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!